over the same counties.
And that sounds like the making of a flood situation.
Correct.
And we saw a similar scene here, some street flooding in Sioux Falls, South Dakota yesterday. It was just less than an inch of rain, and that rain, though, will continue today, and the area, not under a flood watch, but with the soil as it is, rather wet, it's not going to take a lot for more flooding to happen. And more flooding going to happen over more of the areas that have already seen a fair amount of rainfall with, in some cases, some saturated soil. Pacific moisture moving in, Gulf moisture moving in. There's a stalled front, which means the focus for rain continues over many states that have already seen a lot of that wet weather. And moisture, it's lifted along that front, and fronts often progress from one direction to another. And when they're stalled and they're just hanging out, you can get some pretty bad results here. And flooding is one of those bad results. And this includes areas from the panhandle of Texas all the way up to southern Michigan, northwest Ohio included in this. And the amount of rainfall might not look that impressive. However, there's more going on here than just the rain that's going to come down. The rain's coming down onto soil that just can't absorb a lot more because there's been so much more rain lately than what you might expect for this time of year. The other thing is, what if this 1 to 2 inches of rain that's expected for portions of Oklahoma and Kansas and even Illinois, what if that comes down in a matter of an hour or two, which is possible when we're talking about thunderstorms? Then we have another chance potentially of seeing some flash flooding. So here's that soil moisture I was talking about. Typically, drier soil is going to absorb the rain, much more of the rain than runs off. Has to get saturated before it runs off, or perhaps the rain can fall fast enough that it'll run off faster than the soil can absorb it. So there's a lot of different factors that go into the quick runoff and the flooding. When we talk about river flooding, that can last days or weeks, and we are seeing many areas that are in minor, in orange, moderate, red, or purple, major flooding across portions of the Midwest. Back to the flash flood threat across the panhandle of Texas and New Mexico. It is possible for many of these areas again tomorrow and then Friday, and Friday into Saturday morning. It's possible Santa Fe, Santa Rosa, Albuquerque, all with the possibility of seeing some flash flooding because in part of some of the heavy rain that is expected. This is just through tomorrow with more rain on the way for central New Mexico. And this all happening on the edge, Jackie, of an area of high pressure, which tends to be the case. You get these storms that are right over, and if that high doesn't move, it happens over and over.
Exactly. So we're riding the ridge across parts of the Northeast as well, and we're going to have to deal with some raw conditions here. Look at Boston right now. You can really see that rain coming down there. Temperatures in the low 60s. Albany, you're also in the cool part of the storm in the front right now, and so you're looking at gray overcast conditions here as well. But south of those locations, we could see some thunderstorms today, and a few of them could produce some gusty winds, and we've got a few of those storms developing right now just north of New York City and kind of pushing down off to Long Island. So just be aware of that these storms aren't severe, but they could produce some winds on the range of 30, maybe 35 miles per hour. So not the stuff you really want to get caught out in. So keep that in mind, especially as those kids are getting off the bus and we've got the afternoon practices going on. We're also seeing some heftier showers in northern parts of Pennsylvania. Not really picking up much in terms of lightning right now, but you could get some brief, intense downpours as a result of that. So this is really, kind of a localized area that we're talking about, but a very populated area that we're talking about too. And this threat will be ongoing now for the rest of the afternoon and continuing into the evening hours, maybe even into 9 o'clock or so. We will see the rain and the showers and thunderstorms come in waves as our frontal boundary isn't moving a whole heck of a lot. And we'll see these little areas of disturbed weather right along that, bringing in more active wet weather. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, this could very well be slowing slowing down your morning commute, especially around New York, down towards Philadelphia, in about the northern half of Pennsylvania. We'll get another round of some wet weather here. Now, back farther to the west of there, closer towards the cold front and area of low pressure, we do have a better chance of seeing some thunderstorms developing. A few of those could produce some damaging winds for tomorrow. So heads up for that, including you in Cleveland, over towards Youngstown, down towards Wheeling into Pittsburgh. Even Punxsutawney could get in on a couple of those stronger thunderstorms. But again, not everybody will see those stronger storms. And let's talk about the timing of all of this. So we wake up with those wet conditions, perhaps a little bit of a break into the middle of the day, and then we'll see that little push begin to come in here around 4 or 5 o'clock. And there you can see it, eastern PA or western PA into eastern Ohio, and then that'll all push westward. As we head into Friday, Friday is the day everybody here needs to be looking forward to. And as we head into the weekend, that whole cold front finally pushes on through. We'll watch for some clearing conditions, and everybody should be feeling some heat relief into that part of the country. So take a look at the forecast for you in Philadelphia. You know, be careful what you wish for in a way, right? Because our temperatures are not going to get out of the 60s now once we head into tonight, and that is going to continue into your Friday. But big difference between, 60s and rain and then 60s in sunshine. One is going to feel a whole lot better than the other. So dust off some of those sweaters and the rain jackets. You're going to need them over the next couple of days. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the temperatures, which has been such a huge story. What feels like, almost a month and a half that we've been dealing with this, Chris.
Yeah, well, it feels like 6 months if if you've been living it. But I think actually it has been about a month and a half, really, of some of these ridiculous temperatures. And so far today, you have been baking here, figuratively speaking, of course, in Atlanta, Nashville, Washington, D.C., and New York City. Let's start off with Washington, D.C. And so far today, you have hit 98 degrees. The previous hottest October day, I say previous hottest October day because that now is 98. Today is the hottest October day on record. Before that, it was 2 degrees less than that. It was 96 in 1941. Usually you say goodbye to the mid-90s in August. In fact, mid-August, usually done in D.C. with the mid-90s. Each one of these red dots on this red map shows where record highs are possible today. Could be looking at new records for many locations. In fact, we are seeing that. Highs so far compared to record. So the new record in Indianapolis, if it stands, will be 91. Columbus, 92. Charleston, 92. The record is 95. Got a ways to get that. Crushed the old record today in Richmond, Virginia by 6 degrees. And Baltimore, my mind is still blown with this one. The record is 89. First off, when you're forecasting, Jackie, we know you're always wary of forecasting
Forecasting
records,
a record high, yeah.
Right, because it's tough to do. But to see an 89 as a record, and then to hit 98 degrees.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's not the only place that has done that. I mean, there's so many records similar to that in the Mid-Atlantic and to the Southeast today. And we'd like to say the buck stops here, but we're not going to say that. Unfortunately, it's going to continue into tomorrow. More records will be broken tomorrow. Some of the records that will be broken will be daily highs, right? The 24-hour record for that date, but also will likely beat some all-time October record highs, some of which were just broken yesterday. Some of which are being broken again today, some of which will be broken again tomorrow, or maybe even tied. So New Orleans, you're in that ballpark. Huntsville, Alabama, 98 degrees. New Orleans, you hit 94 today. You're likely going to hit 94 again tomorrow. Atlanta, 98 is the forecast high. And check out Nashville. They could beat it once again, up to 97. Mark, when will it end?
Soon. Finally, we can say soon. There's actually a time limit on some of this heat, and it's already starting to end across portions of the Northeast corridor. Today, a north wind has kicked in as a cold front has been moving in kind of northeast to southwest, known as a backdoor cold front because it's almost moving the wrong way, right? Sending that cool air this way, which is opposite from what you may expect. So cooler air across the northeast by tomorrow, where temperatures will only be in the 50s. That's a big change from the 90s you're seeing, for example, in New York today. Some of that cool air then gets shoved down the Appalachian chain in what's known as the cold air damming or the wedge. So that cold air gets pushed kind of right up along the higher elevations. 60s in Nashville, 80s in Atlanta. Doesn't quite get all the way to Birmingham. That cool air has to wait a few more days, and there will be another shot of cool air, this time coming more traditionally from the north, coming from Canada, coming right through the center of the country. If not this weekend across the northern tier, then certainly by the early and middle part of the week, the southeast of southern plains sees a big change. We're talking about readings in Houston that go from the 90s to the upper 70s.
Friday, the superstars come out as SmackDown premieres on Fox.
Whoa, look at this!
Hulk Hogan, Roman Reigns, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Becky Lynch, and Brock Lesnar returns to challenge Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship.
My God!
Live from Staples Center. SmackDown's 20th anniversary. Friday at 7:30 Eastern on Fox.
Their specials today.
Do you feel isolated?
Grandma, can you read this book to me?
What did you say, honey? What?
Have you been missing out?
Honey,
It's the
no,
legendary
it's too
record-breaking
loud.
Broadway musical that has
Frustrated with your hearing loss?
Conversations were really tough. I missed hearing important things, like my granddaughter.
Think high-quality hearing aids are just too expensive?
Some of those hearing aids cost several $1,000s. Who can afford that?
Introducing Hear Clear Go from Advanced Affordable Hearing. The performance and features of high-end hearing aids for a fraction of the cost.
I used to own a pair of expensive hearing aids, but when I had to replace them, I discovered these. I can't believe it. I can hear great, and they're way less expensive.
Hear Clear Go has the key technology, features, and quality of those expensive hearing aids. They use a digital processor with adjustable volume, and they're rechargeable, so there's no batteries to replace. Best of all, because we're the manufacturer, we can offer Hear Clear Go hearing aids for the factory direct price of only $3.99 per pair. There's no doctor visit or hearing test required, and our friendly experts are available to help every step of the way.
They were so helpful. They answered all my questions. It was so easy.
Get your Hear Clear Go hearing aids today for just $3.99 per pair. Order now and we'll also include a convenient storage case, a charging station, and care kit. An $85 value absolutely free. Hear Clear Go hearing aids come with our 100% risk-free guarantee. Try them, and if you don't agree they provide amazingly clear sound, simply return them for a full refund.
It really is amazing. I'm back to hearing clearly. I couldn't be happier.
Call the number on your screen or visit HearClearGo.com to order your Hear Clear Go from Advanced Affordable Hearing for only $3.99 a pair, including storage case, charging station, and care kit. An $85 value, yours free. We'll even ship them for free. This amazing offer won't last forever, so call or visit HearClearGo.com today and hear clear for less.
For years, we weren't getting enough sleep, so we wanted the little sleep we were getting to be the best sleep possible.
Friends were raving about their Boll & Branch sheets, so we looked them up. Not only do they have thousands of 5-star reviews, they are loved by 3 U.S. presidents. Now we know why. They're the softest sheets we've ever felt.
And the fact that they're ethically made from organic cotton helps us sleep easy. Until the kids wake us up.
$50 off your first set of sheets at BollandBranch.com.
Do you use catheters? Are you using the catheter that's really best for you?
Oh, yeah. For years, I'd been using one kind of catheter, and I never knew that there were other really great catheters available until Liberator sent me samples to try. If I had not tried the samples from Liberator, I might never have found the perfect catheter for me. Liberator Medical sent me a catheter that was easier for me to use right out of the package. Now that I've found the best catheter for me, it's made my life much easier. My catheters were completely paid for, not a dime out of my pocket.
There are so many innovative catheters. Get the best catheter for you. Call Liberator Medical. Get your free catheter sample pack.
Call 1-800-745-1930. That's 1-800-745-1930.
This is epic! You're watching America's most trusted TV news network.
We've got a severe weather threat. We are live on the ground. Right now, it's coming down.
The Weather Channel.
Hey there, everybody. 4:19 Eastern Time right now on a Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, everyone. We're into the month of October, not necessarily feeling like it. We've got some weather extremes taking place across the lower 48, and we're focusing in on the threat of some heavy rain that could lead to some flash flooding yet again for today. A few of the storms this evening, too, could be strong or severe, especially watching this zone in there, which would include southeastern Kansas and maybe even into the Kansas City metro area. Severe storms possible tomorrow as well, just farther east this go around. We're talking eastern parts of Ohio into western Pennsylvania, perhaps clipping the Columbus metro area, but storms a little more likely from Cleveland down towards the Pittsburgh area that could produce some damaging winds. And then the temperatures just keep rising. They just do not want to calm down at all. We've got relief in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. We've got some relief going on across parts of the Northeast and New England, but down here, forget about it. We've got more red dots on the map. That's going to continue into tomorrow. It's going to continue into Friday before it at least wanes. We'll call it maybe a cool down a bit, but certainly not cold just yet, but perhaps a touch of fall in some places, Chris.
Finally, a touch of fall in some places. We're going to go to a lot of places right now, a virtual road trip, if you will. And we're going to start in the south.
Everybody.
You up for it?
I'm up for it.
I think so. I know you are. You're a trooper, Jackie. Let's take a look right now. We're going to take the 95 journey here, starting in South Florida, and we're going to finish all the way up in New England. And let's start right now with a look at Miami. I think we shall.
All right. Well, hey, Miami, how you doing? We just had a flood advisory issued for parts of Miami-Dade County, and that has to do with some of those king tides along with the high surf that has been coming in.
You know what's interesting about those king tides? Right here, this camera that we're looking at,
yeah.
Oftentimes when you think of flooding, especially when you think of tides, you think of it coming up and over the beaches.
Over the beach.
But you go inland a little ways, and it comes up from
the sewer drains.
Yes, it comes up the drains. So you could be blocks away from the ocean, and there can be flooding.
Right, so keep that in mind.
And it's saltwater, too.
Yeah, and well inland.
Yeah.
So those tides generally about a foot, maybe as much as a foot and a half above what we would typically see above dry ground. We also have the risk of rip currents here, too. So take a look at how high that is. So as winds move in perpendicular to the coastline, the Atlantic beaches have that high risk again today and into tomorrow. Moderate, though, a little farther up the coast as you head towards Savannah into the Hilton Head area. Savannah, we're keeping an eye on you for a number of different reasons.
That's right. It's going to take a while to get here because we will have stopped at Fort Lauderdale, Vero Beach. We would have stopped in Jacksonville.
Cocoa Beach, you got to get around John Shirt.
So it would have taken a while, but eventually we would make our way to the beautiful southern city of Savannah. It is hot, has been hot, and it's also been quite dry as well. As you look at all of the different areas, the different colors of yellow and orange. There is the abnormally dry, which is the first stage. Then there goes moderate, and then there is severe and extreme and exceptional.
Right. And we're getting some of that extreme drought now, the little red dot there.
Yeah.
In Alabama.
That's the first one we've seen.
Yeah,
right?
in the southeast anyway.
You made the good point, the observation that tomorrow we'll get the new drought monitor.
Right.
And wouldn't be surprised if that red's bigger and there's more red.
Very likely, I would think.
Yeah.
That will be the case. We'll bring it to you tomorrow, so make sure you watch this program during that time. Richmond, we're seeing red for a different reason, so to speak, right? Yeah. The temperature, the thermometer feels like it's off the charts, 95 degrees right now.
Which it's also kind of a mind warp as well, because when you start to see the leaves, these beautiful yellow and orange colors, 95, maybe 59 degrees is what you might think, but not 95.
I know, it's brutal. Breaking all kinds of records in Richmond as well. The hottest October temperature on record. They haven't done it just yet. It feels like all of your neighbors have Richmond. Do you want to join the club? Probably not.
Got a pretty big bar, though, here.
Right?
Pretty high bar, I should say.
Absolutely. 99, forecast tomorrow 95, and then you cool down into the weekend. Oh, that payoff's going to be so good by the weekend, though.
79, that is tough to beat.
71 looks better to me.
You think? Well, the sunshine is what I'm thinking.
With
Let's look at the
sun?
sunshine, reading 79.
Mix of sun and clouds, a little bit of both.
How about a little rain right here?
Yeah, it's been doing that for hours now, Boston.
You know, what I think is so interesting is, sometimes you look at gray skies and it kind of gets you depressed. This makes me feel cool. This makes me feel good.
But if you live somewhere where you've had some coolish off and on, maybe.
Yeah, but maybe you'll do a little more sunshine.
Hard to say. Boston, the front's like right on top of you. You've been kind of holding steady there, right? Your winds are more northerly right now, and you have dropped from the 70s earlier today. Syracuse, you've dropped from the 70s today as well. But look at those thunderstorms kicking up in northern PA, around Long Island. 91 still in New York. Look at that contrast.
All right, so let's head west and take a look here at Las Vegas. 75 degrees, looking down Fremont Street, Jackie, and it's looking pretty good.
Looking mighty fine. 75 degrees, lots of sunshine there for you in Las Vegas. Everything's all lit up, even though it's daytime. The sunshine's doing its job with more of the same as well. You know, it's a dry, comfortable 75. That, to me, that's about as perfect as it gets.
But if you get in the deserts, 80s, it doesn't feel too hot.
Yeah.
It feels pretty good with the low humidities here. Sunny in 86, desert heat, temperatures cooling off in the lower 60s. Not a bad weekend.
Yeah. Road trip anywhere?
Do you have concerns about mild memory loss related to aging? Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
I wish I could shake your hand.
Granted. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
My lady. Those darn seatbelts got me all crumpled up.
It's okay. Hey, guys.
Hi, Mrs. Patterson.
Wrinkles send the wrong message.
Sorry.
Help prevent them before they start with new Downy Wrinkle Guard.
That's better.
So you won't get caught with wrinkles again.
When you're looking for answers, it's good to have help. Because the right information at the right time may make all the difference. At Humana, we know that's especially true when you're looking for a Medicare supplement insurance plan. That's why we're offering 7 things every Medicare supplement should have. It's yours free, just for calling the number on your screen. And when you call, a knowledgeable licensed agent producer can answer any questions you have and help you choose the plan that's right for you. The call is free and there's no obligation. You see, Medicare covers only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. That's why so many people purchase Medicare supplement insurance plans like those offered by Humana. They're designed to help you save money and pay some of the costs Medicare doesn't. Depending on the Medicare supplement plan you select, you could have no deductibles or copayments for doctor visits, hospital stays, emergency care, and more. You can keep the doctors you have now, ones you know and trust, with no referrals needed. Plus, you can get medical care anywhere in the country, even when you're traveling. With Humana, you get a competitive monthly premium and personalized service from a healthcare partner working to make healthcare simpler and easier for you. You can choose from a wide range of standardized plans. Each one is designed to work seamlessly with Medicare and help save you money. So how do you find the plan that's right for you? One that fits your needs and your budget. Call Humana now at the number on your screen for this free guide. It's just one of the ways that Humana is making healthcare simpler. And when you call, a knowledgeable licensed agent producer can answer any questions you have and help you choose the plan that's right for you. The call is free and there's no obligation. You know Medicare won't cover all your medical costs, so call now and see why a Medicare supplement plan from a company like Humana just might be the answer.
My car is my after-work decompression zone. So when my windshield broke, I found the experts at Safelite Auto Glass. They have exclusive technology and service I can trust.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
You know curb appeal when you see it. And with the Home Depot and the best brands around, you can start seeing it. Today is the day for doing. Let home services boost your curb appeal. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Come on, man. What? We said pantyhose, right? Here, eat this. Creamy Snickers. You could use a little smoothness.
See?
Pete Zacharine.
Get smooth with the fresh ground nut butters and creamy Snickers.
This is Weather Center Live, and that's some lightning right there. Shelf cloud. This is from South Dakota, and the view of a storm off in the distance over the beautiful countryside here. Rain shaft visible there, some dark clouds. There's the shelf cloud, and we've seen a fair amount of storms, and we can see more storms again today in some of the same areas. You see going right into the Dakotas. This is always interesting when one side of the state has been dealing with showers and thunderstorms, and the other side, snow. That time of year, getting a little bit of everything here. Big area of high pressure. Eventually, we'll be getting out of here. Closer look at that coming up. But first, a closer look at this. Areas in red where severe weather remains a possibility going into tonight. This includes Kansas City. And each one of these dots is where a record high temperature is possible, or in fact, has already happened today. It has already happened earlier today, but these are all possible, dozens possible through Friday. So it's not just today or tomorrow, but again on Friday. A big stretch here of some heat eventually coming to an end. But before that, still hoping and waiting for those storms to come to an end, Jackie.
Yeah, we'll have more storms, I think, as we head towards the evening hours. We've got rain out there right now.
Still not a lot of big stuff right now, right?
Exactly, but that may change with time. In fact, we've made it through this entire show without a single warning in terms of
That's
severe
3.5 hours so far, if you're counting.
And some of us are counting more than others. All right, let's take a look at the risk area that we're talking about, and it stretches from northwest parts of Oklahoma all the way into southeastern Kansas and into Missouri. So as we take a look at the active radar right now, so all the wet weather really has been riding up and over and around this ridge of high pressure, right? And most of the rain that we've been seeing today has been what we call that stratiform rain, right? It's overcast, it's been rainy, it's been dripping. For the most part, it's relatively light. Every now and then you'll get a little bit of a heavier downpour, but not a lot of thunder and lightning. But look what's starting to happen right now into northwestern parts of Oklahoma. We're starting to get some convection, some of that bubbling. So these are the areas we're going to have to watch for as that front advances a little bit more, and that's going to be moving into and interacting with those unstable conditions out ahead of it where you had some sunshine and warmer temperatures for today. So there you can see our future radar really picking up this activity significantly over the next couple of hours, and that will continue through 9-10 o'clock for tonight, and really depicts the Kansas City metro area getting hit hard with some heavy thunderstorms and some really heavy downpours to go along with that. And then notice the motion of these storms too as they weaken overnight most likely, but they continue to develop and repeat themselves and kind of move over some of the same areas, and that would really help increase some of that threat of the flash flooding into tomorrow. So that's really something we're going to have to continue to keep an eye on and monitor. Greatest threat we think here in terms of the severe thunderstorms would be damaging winds, although we couldn't rule out an isolated tornado. I think that's much less likely. Our Torcon's a 2 or less across the area for today, and really looking at the possibility across that broad area for the flash flooding. But notice Chicago, Detroit, northern half of Indiana, including you into the South Bend area, you could be getting in on that risk of flash flooding. General rain amounts around 1 inch or less, but a few spots could get those locally heavy downpours, and that would bring you around 1 inch or 2. So that's all associated also with all that heat that continues to grip the southeast. Mark has what hopefully is some good news for folks.
It's almost done. Almost. Depending on exactly where you are, you have anywhere from hours to about a week before the worst of the heat is out of here. Little consolation if you're topping this list to number 1 or number 2 for many cities across the mid-Atlantic into the southeast for the number of 90-degree days in the year. And even if you didn't get to that dubious distinction, chances are pretty good that you've seen more record high temperatures near you than record lows, as the past 30 days have not featured very many of those record lows at all across the country. So let's watch the heat slowly disappear, right? We're talking about 50 more cities tomorrow. By Friday, about 20 cities or so. That's the beginning of the cooler air really coming in. Today in the Northeast, we're talking hours, because by tomorrow in, say, New York City, you're going to be going from the 90s to the 50s. That is a very big change in just one day. Some of that cool air gets pushed down the Appalachian chain, and so instead of, say, the 90s in Atlanta, by this weekend you'll be in the 80s. And that's not good enough for a place like Birmingham or, say, Lake Charles, Louisiana, or Houston. You'll need to wait until after the weekend. Early next week, this is a much bigger pool of cold air. Cold front slices all the way down towards I-10, and that should allow for cold air to spill in to places like Birmingham, like Lake Charles, like Houston. Look at this map for Houston to give you an idea, from the 90s to as cool as the upper 70s ahead.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clearer skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
So Josh, you going for our Drive Safe and Save discount?
Yep, using the app Driving Safe. You wanna go, bro? Do not mess with my discount.
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe and Save.
Nobody would be crazy enough to build a boat out of glass. But I would! Using these heavy glass panels and only Flex Glue Clear. Not only does Flex Glue's powerful adhesive hold the entire glass boat together, but it's virtually invisible. Now that's Flex-tastic. Get Flex Glue Clear or any of the Flex Seal family of products at FlexSealProducts.com.
William Shatner here. You know, I've been using a CPAP for over 10 years, and it's made a world of difference to me. But no one ever told me how important it is to keep my CPAP clean. I had no idea that it's a breeding ground for bacteria. A dirty CPAP can make you sick. That's when a friend said, Bill, you need to try SoClean. It's so easy. All you do is place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away.
SoClean kills up to 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir. SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks.
I get a healthy sleep every night thanks to SoClean.
Try SoClean risk-free for 30 nights. Shipping is free, and when you call now, get $50 off. Call 1-800-349-2130. To take advantage of this 30-night risk-free trial and get $50 off, call 1-800-349-2130.
What will you do when the power goes out? Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life. But with a Generac home standby generator, your life goes on, uninterrupted, because you'll have power when you need it the most.
24 days we were without power. I had water, I had ice, I had coffee, I had air conditioner. I was able to stay here because of the Generac.
Get the safety, security, and peace of mind your family deserves with a home standby generator from Generac. 8 out of 10 home generators are Generac, with thousands of satisfied customers.
Very good product. Very, very good reviews from everybody.
Prices start at just $19.99. And special financing is available with surprisingly affordable monthly payments. Call now to schedule your free in-home assessment, and you'll receive a 7-year extended warranty absolutely free. That's a $695 value. Call or go online today. Power your life with Generac.
Super Emma just about sleeps in her cape. But when we realized she was battling sensitive skin, we switched to Tide Pods Free and Gentle. It's gentle on her skin and dermatologist recommended. Tide Free and Gentle. Safe for skin with psoriasis and eczema.
This is Weather Center Live, and there is certainly one thing you can say about September, especially this year. Weather extremes certainly can and do rule.
Yeah, from destructive hurricanes to damaging tornadoes, deluges that trigger flooding to summer heat that just won't quit. The month that just ended proved to be a September of weather superlatives.
Oh, we're going to begin here in the tropics. Powerful Hurricane Dorian leveling homes on 2 islands of the Bahamas. Crews still sifting through the damage on Abaco and Great Bahama Islands.
Dorian causing big trouble along the outer banks of North Carolina, too, severing Highway 12 and forcing some residents of Ocracoke to be airlifted to safety as water rose, trapping them into their homes. So here's a look at all of the hurricanes that we've experienced up to this point, and those were all just in the month of September.
And some strong ones as well, with Lorenzo also the farthest east to become a Category 5. Look at that.
Yeah, it's, and all out there by itself when you look at that compared to all of the other ones. So it certainly has been an active season and unusual for the month of September. September also saw its fair share of tornadoes. This one captured by a home security camera at Emerald Isle, North Carolina. This came as Dorian, of course, took aim on the Outer Banks, causing damage here, but many more spun up on land.
Including the one in the west here in New River, Arizona. It touched down for 2 minutes. This was just last week.
It was a pretty active month when it came to twisters as well. Here's the number for you, 87. And look at how many different states were affected by that, even all the way over into Oregon. The strongest one was an EF3. That was in Elk Mound, Wisconsin, and northwestern parts of the state.
So maybe not a huge surprise when you see that severe weather was also making itself felt last month as well.
Yeah, take a look at this. You can see heavy rain that fell in southern Kansas just about a week ago, but more than rain slammed to the ground here. Hail pounded the ground as well. So when you take a look at all of the reports of severe weather, when you include tornadoes, hail, damaging wind for the month, we were well above average on many days here. We had almost 1,300 severe weather reports.
And the largest hail recorded was 4 1/4 inches in Wyoming, in JM, Wyoming. That's huge.
That is huge. That can cause a lot of damage, and we did see quite a bit of that. The strongest wind, by the way, was in Elliott, North Dakota, 90 miles per hour. Sometimes straight line winds can cause more damage than tornadoes.
And there's not a lot to break the wind in the plains either, so that wind can absolutely howl.
Well, one of the biggest weather extremes of the month centered on temperatures. One region saw day after sweltering day of record-breaking heat.
Millions struggling with the heat and the first snow of the season. And what a snowfall it was, shattering monthly and all-time records for some.
What a contrast. So let's start with the sweltering September heat affecting millions of people. In fact, we had 474 cities that saw their top 10 warmest September on record. 177 other places had or at least tied their warmest September. And the warmest city for the month? Centennial, Colorado, where the average temperature was 10 degrees above what they would typically see for September. Wow. But a sign of the seasons to come, parts of the country, the high country to be exact, are digging out from record-setting snow that fell during the last weekend of the month.
And the snowiest city of the month? Great Falls, Montana. Look at that, 1.5 feet of snowfall.
Too much too soon. The coldest city of the month was Devil Lake, North Dakota. Your temperature there, 6 degrees below average. That doesn't mean that your temperature was 6 degrees, right? That means when you average your temperature out, that's how much far below normal you've been experiencing. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Let's take a look right now at what we may be expecting for the rest of fall. Some areas it's going to start feeling like fall.
It is, especially as we head towards the weekend and into next week. But the Climate Prediction Center takes a look at the next 3 months. So when we count October, November, and December, it's still looking above average across much of the lower 48, but more likely to see that in the Southwest, but also into New England, which is interesting. Especially as you take a look at December, huh?
Yeah, it is interesting to see that, but it looks like the Southwest will be doing okay. The deserts, this is when it pays off for people that live in the deserts. You get out of summer and you're really seeing some of the beautiful weather.
All right, so what about the precipitation? Is it going to be drier than normal? Is it going to be wetter than normal? Of course, a lot of the southeast looking forward to some wetter weather. That's going to be a possibility into the coastal areas from Florida on up towards the mid-Atlantic, but not so much in the deep south and Tennessee Valley where some of that drought has really been growing.
And this is capturing overall patterns, too. So this gives you a general idea. This is, a seasonal forecast, essentially, to give you an idea of generally what will be going on in the atmosphere.
Yeah, so maybe above average snowfall in the Rockies.
That'd be good. That would be good.
Get some cooler temperatures in there. You get above average precip. It could be a good ski season out there.
Yeah, we'll work on that base hopefully soon.
And out west, you can see that's the most likely place where things could be below average for precip. Where you don't see any color, that's about average.
Great riches will find you when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Wow, thanks, Zoltar. How can I ever repay you?
Maybe you could free Zoltar? Thanks, lady. Taxi! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
I was missing teeth. It was painful to chew. I cut up my food very small, and I would feel more and more limited.
I know she felt that she was holding people back. We couldn't go where we wanted to go out to eat.
I knew I had to try something, and that's what originally drove me to Clear Choice.
When a patient comes in for their free consultation, oftentimes they're not happy with their dentures. Dental implant procedures, they're more permanent. The materials are stronger. They're made with a higher level of technology.
Implants are like normal teeth. I mean, there was no pain. Dentures could never fit right. With the implants, you don't take them out. So there's no worry about them slipping. When you actually can eat and smile as much as you want, it's wonderful.
Powerful. Influential. Unstoppable. The right tech can help you move the world and create your own lane. The Nissan Altima. You not only move the world, you can make moves for your future. Presenting the Nissan Altima. Impossibly smart.
Has your AC busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW, American Residential Warranty.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty. Home appliance repairs and replacement can cause stress and cost you over $3,000 per year. But ARW has home warranty plans starting at less than $1 a day.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. It was so hot. I called ARW and they came out and fixed it right away.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more. All plans are fully customizable and come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and get a home security system free with any plan. Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
Call or log on to getahomeplan.com to find out which home warranty plan is right for you.
Stream your news just like everything else you love with Local Now. It's completely free and ready to go when and where you are. Local Now. Find it in your favorite app store.
We hope you can join us for Weather Underground, top of the hour. It's October, right? When it comes to the tropics, it's all about location, location, location.
A lot like real estate. We have concerns, though, as we go into the month of October. We're going to talk about some of the concerning threats that develop this time of year, how history has shown that. We'll break it down for you starting at 5 o'clock Eastern.
Make sure you stick around for that. Well, this Sunday on a new episode of Storm Stories, the next chapter, Nebraska firefighters are in peril after a historic flood this past spring. As time ticks by, the heroes wonder who will save them.
In March 2019, after being hit with a pulverizing late winter storm, Nebraska is facing unprecedented flooding. 50 miles north of Lincoln, outside Fremont, Nebraska, near the Elkhorn River, a pair of firefighter rescue boats have just capsized in the middle of an ice-cold flood.
Water everywhere, just as far as you can see. We have nowhere to go.
We were hanging on to the boats, hoping that they had a plan for us or have somebody that could come get us.
At that very moment, Staff Sergeant Lind has just finished a helicopter rescue when he receives an urgent message.
I got a text message from the Joint Operations Center. They said, need assets to Fremont, Nebraska. We have 7 firefighters, boats capsized in the water. They need desperate help. We typed in the grid location into the GPS, and the GPS said we had 63 miles to go. We were low on fuel to begin with. We'd been out rescuing people for about 2 hours at this point in time, but we were the only option to go. I told the pilot, I said, hey, we have to go rescue these people right now. Those guys were in a life and death situation. If firefighters are calling for help, that means there's nobody else to help them. We saw it as a no-fail mission.
This video really showing you what Lorenzo did as it rolled across the Azores. Look at those huge waves. Winds gusting to 100 miles per hour. We had heavy rainfall there, significantly damaging one of the island's main ports. Trees were toppled, power lines fell, and waves surged as Lorenzo passed just west of the Portuguese island chain. The remnants of Lorenzo still may be a problem down the line here. Mark Elliott joining us with more on that.
Yeah, a batch of wind and certainly wave action will be headed towards northwest Europe. That includes Ireland, portions of England. Those west-facing beaches are really going to feel the brunt of it. The presentation on the satellite isn't all that impressive anymore, but it still has that tropical DNA. And as much as 70 to 75 mile per hour winds could be accompanying the remnant low as it comes towards Ireland. Yes, you'll get a batch of rain that approaches through Eastern time, U.S. time, Thursday, and then lingering into Friday for Ireland and the UK. That said, I don't think rain's going to be the take-home memorable part of this storm. Instead, the wind may be these bright red colors indicating 65 to 75 mile per hour winds getting right up against that western shore. And it also means the wave action will be getting right up against that western shore. These brighter pink colors indicating 30 to 40 footers. Western slopes of Ireland and southwest England could have huge towering waves, and then really much of the North Atlantic will have some big waves right on through the weekend. And some of that stretches all the way back towards the northern U.S. coast. So that is one kind of indirect effect of having a huge Cat 5 hurricane out in the Atlantic. Meanwhile, we've got this spin closer to home. Only about a 10% chance of development as it heads towards the Gulf of Mexico after going through the Yucatan Peninsula. Really hard to pick out right now, to tell you the truth. There's a swirl in here. Some of the showers and storms displaced from that swirl. But there's an old boundary out here, and as a cold front that we'll be talking about to lower our temperatures gets hung up near that same area, it could be a favored location for some development. Maybe not this week, maybe at the end of next week. So maybe 2 weeks away, that'll be our next chance for something closer to home. Jackie, something that we'll definitely have